Good morning, YouTube. It's a little after 6 a.m. and oh, there's plastic on the sidewalk. Try to remember to pick that up on the way home. A little something to recycle and make the neighborhood a little bit cleaner. Anyway, it's a little after 6 in the morning, Sunday morning, and it is beautiful in Phoenix right now. Look at that. Look at them clouds. Just pink fluffy clouds. Sun is coming up over the horizon. That looks awesome through the palm trees. Beautiful mornings like this are why I live here. At least it's a big part of it. Birds are tweeting. It's beautiful out here, and hardly anybody up. I see a woman walking on the other side of the street. The headphones on, which is good. I always sound like a nut job, like I'm talking to myself when I'm recording and talking to myself. My next door neighbor was up. That was kind of cool. He's got a puppy, a Cocker Spaniel puppy named Cookies that is just the most adorable dog. And I'm not really a dog person, but my God, I just love that stinking dog, and he loves me. I told him I was walking up to the bank. He's like, "The bank? Where?" It's like, "Chase, up on Thomas." And he's like, "What? Do you need a lift?" I'm like, "No, I got my car right there, so I'm just walking." He looked at me all confused, like, "Why would I want to walk?" It's like, yeah, this is how I can be. This is my exercise. This is how I can be over 50 and still have a flat stomach. And he's like, "Oh, okay." It's never fails to amaze me. Americans and their aversion to walking. Which, I get it. There's times I definitely don't want to walk, but God, it's just beautiful out this morning, and I got nothing but time on my hands right now, so why the heck not? Oh gosh, look at that. Look at that. So, it's a little baby shoe, and I'm sure there is some parent somewhere looking for that and trying to figure out where the heck their baby put the other one. I can almost guarantee that. Anyway, yeah, I've been kind of binging out on YouTube the last day-ish. I find I do that actually more when I'm kind of depressed and I don't feel like getting out of bed. It's just real easy to pick up the iPhone and I just watch some videos and pass the time. Sometimes if it's something that I'm listening to more than watching, I'll just lay it by my head and let Tim Pool tell me a bedtime story. Or, whoever I'm listening to. But two of my favorite YouTubers that are on the subject of city planning just dropped new videos, and I quite enjoy both of them. One is called City Beautiful, and you could tell he's you could tell. In fact, I think the kid, he's an adult. He's married with kids, but he looks like a kid to me. You can tell he's. I think he's mentioned that he's a college professor, and you can kind of tell that he's, fresh out of and still involved in the California liberal college environment, because as great and informative as his videos are, there's just a non-stop theme of cars bad, all urban development is the way it is because racism. And it's just like, really? Cars bad, anything not cars good, walking good, which is funny because it's like when you get in the it's like, dude, you need to get in the real world and actually talk to normal people and realize why almost infrastructure is for cars. Because like I said, I just had a quick conversation with my neighbor as his dog was coming up and wanting to get loads of attention from me, and he just seemed puzzled and confused why I would be walking. I was like, you need a ride, you need a ride. so, I mean, yeah, most normal people consider walking bad. Walking is something you do when your car's broke, or you don't have a ride, or something bad has happened where you have to walk. Now, myself, I do enjoy walking, when I have the time, when the weather's nice, when it's close enough to be convenient. Now, this is, I would say the walk from my apartment to Wells Fargo Bank. It's about 3/4 of a mile. So I'll be doing about 1.5 miles round trip walking. And, maybe a little bit farther. It's kind of hard to estimate because as I cut through the giant strip mall here, I'm sort of taking angles which reduce the distance of walking a little bit. But yeah, no, for the average person, car is not bad. Car is how they get around, and at least for the average American, I do know it's from comments that I see on YouTube and things that I've read and people I've talked to who have lived in Europe or since have a substantial amount of time in Europe, that is a lot different in Europe. But as an American, more specifically, an American who spent the majority of his life in Phoenix, Arizona, yeah, car is the way to get around. Anything else and not optimal. You're probably not doing it because you want to. So I'm definitely an outlier in actually wanting to walk this morning. But God, it is so nice out. Anyway, I'm walking through the front of the giant strip mall up the road from my place. It's funny. I remember I was mentioning this spot in a vlog the other day, and I couldn't for the life of me remember the name of this shopping center. I just know it's Arcadia something. Arcadia Crossing, maybe? But it sits where the Thomas Mall used to be. And the Thomas Mall was leveled in the early 1990s. But my girlfriend back in the early 1990s, who I still, part of my heart and soul still is convincing me she was the love of my life, but which is kind of a sad thing to say considering that I do have a woman who loves me dearly laying in my bed right now. But anyway, it just kind of is what it is. She used to work at the Montgomery Wards here, which I think I would more or less be walking through right now. My memory based on, I vaguely remember how the layout of the mall was, and it was at the south end of the mall. Actually, I'd probably pass Wards at this point. But yeah, this front walkway is more or less where the center of the mall used to be. This giant sea of parking in front of it between the strip mall and 44th Street. Interesting enough, memory serves, that stoplight used to be an entrance to the mall. It was there prior to this shopping center being built. Just continue to use it for this center. But yeah, the sea of parking between 44th Street and the mall was not as big as the sea of parking is now. But there was parking on both sides of the mall. Whereas this, like your typical American strip mall, has got a front and a back, and I'm on the front and behind it is the back, and there's no accessibility in the back except for service entrances. Anyway, coming up on the Target. It's one of the major anchors here. Recently got its new lowercase Target sign. For those who didn't notice, Target changed their logo, their image from all uppercase to all lowercase letters. But hey, they still got big red balls. So things haven't changed. Can't really say anything negative about this Target store. I like this Target store. I don't shop here a lot. Largely due lately to the fact that my funds are so dang tight. I do have a red card credit card somewhere, but it's been MIA for, gosh, I want to say 3 years. And Just replacing it hasn't been a priority. It's funny because every time I check, like, it's still a valid account. I think when I go in, like, I'm still getting points even when I spend cash, but I don't know. I don't shop there enough to really worry about it. And the last thing I need to do is be racking up more consumer debt on bullshit that I buy at Target. Do love going there for vinyl, and I'm active, in the vinyl community. I've been a record collector for nearly 50 years, and I remember getting records when I was like 2 years old, and just thinking they were the greatest things ever. Mostly 45s at that age, but yeah, oh wow, look at this classic car. Look at that. Wonder what that is. That's gorgeous. It's like something from a 1940s gangster movie. Anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of active on Reddit and some of the different vinyl collecting subreddits, and it's kind of funny because the average people in those subreddits are like half my age, so they're coming at a different perspective of what vinyl records are and are for. And the fact that Target has been selling records again for a few years it gets mocked a lot, when you see somebody posting a collection that looks like the entire thing was bought at Target. But, and then there's hey, you should support your independent record stores. And I'm not saying people shouldn't support their independent record stores, but I tell you, I thoroughly enjoy the Target sells records, and I've bought many records at Target since they've brought back vinyl. And I also really do enjoy many of their exclusive pressings, as far as, the ones that have unique covers or unique color variants. Yeah, got some really cool ones from there over the years. So Fry's is open. There's a sign in the front of the Fry's still that says Wells Fargo, but that branch has been closed for quite a while, and I get the feeling it's not reopening. It shut down right around the beginning of like a year and a half ago, right around the beginning of the COOF pandemic shutdowns. And yeah, I don't see it reopening. I really don't. Oh gosh. I want to start at Wells Fargo. I need to hit both banks, but I'm going to start at Wells Fargo. Anyway, I kind of enjoy the walk across the shopping center, even though that's not the direction I'm going. Oh crap. I've done this mistake before. I always forget this particular traffic light has no pedestrian crossing at it. This is one of those sort of things that is a reminder of how the infrastructure in Phoenix and many American cities is really made for cars, and pedestrians are an afterthought. Because here we have a traffic light, and now granted the traffic light only stops traffic on the south side of Thomas Road heading eastbound. There is no light to stop traffic on the northbound side headed westbound. But what a disservice it's doing for people who live in this very large apartment complex directly on the other side of the street that are coming from, that want to go to the large shopping center I just walked through. Anyway, I'm doing a little civil disobedience right here. There's not that much traffic. I'm sure I'll make it across just fine. There's a bus. And there's people that ride the bus, but generally speaking, very few people ride the bus because it's better than a car. People mostly ride the bus because they don't have a car. So Arcadia Grove luxury condominiums. I don't know if I've ever gone in there, to be honest, but I know it's a really big complex. It would be nice if those people could just cross the street the way I did if a light to get over to the grocery store if they just need to get a couple items. As opposed to literally having to do a quarter mile of extra walking down to the next light in one way or the other, either the 44th Street or 46th Street. McDonald's, yay! Not like I'm a big fan of McDonald's, but hey, it's convenient, it's close, and drive-throughs generally open 24 hours. Although they've started doing something that I really don't like. Became really fond, especially during the pandemic, became really fond of the McDonald's app and ordering in the app. And I enjoy using an electric scooter often, which I've covered, many times in here. I don't really have a working one right now, which is amazingly frustrating, but not a huge priority at the moment. But yeah, a lot of times they don't like to serve people who are on electric scooters because to them it's not a vehicle and it's unsafe. I don't understand how I'm less safe to them on a electric scooter than I am in a motor vehicle. Because it sure seems like it'd be a lot easier for me to conceal a gun in my car than on my person while I'm on an electric scooter. But yeah, I've been told before they can't serve me on an electric scooter because I don't, because it's not a car. But I've never had a problem getting served right there at the little parking spots that are designated for pre-order pickup using the app until the other day. Unfortunately, I was not on my scooter. I was in my car, so it wasn't a problem to go through the drive-thru. But yeah, I went to get breakfast. It's probably about 5 something in the morning, and the app said that it had that, like when I got to the point where I select where I wanted to pick up my order, I went to select that, and I'd already pulled into one of those spots. It's actually completing my order from one of those spots, and it suddenly said that was not available until after 6 a.m. I'm like, really? The employee's really that scared to walk into the parking lot? Is that sort of a problem? Anyway, I can't believe I've wasted 18 minutes on this, but I've been lollygagging. It doesn't usually take that long to walk to the bank. But I'm at Wells Fargo, so I should shut this down. Because, yeah, I'm not going to key in my PIN number in front of you people. That's not happening. I do want to share this, though, because this is something I shared on Reddit, on a subreddit called Cable Gore, which is a very nerdy subreddit of people just showing just rat's nests of cords and cables. And it amazes me that they still got that disaster clearly visible through the front window. Like, really? Like Wells Fargo Bank doesn't have good enough IT people to clean that mess up, or at least push it a few feet to the left so it's not visible to everybody through the front window? Come on. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with this view of this lovely tower here. I don't know the name of that building, but it's I know the city of Phoenix has, in most of the city, a like a 4 or 5 story limit in its zoning code. I do remember one time I was at maybe a couple of years back, I was at a Phoenix City Council meeting, Planning Commission meeting actually, and I was there regarding scooter related stuff, hoping to speak. I mean, granted, I had a pretty vested interest, in that I was working for Lime at the time, but I mostly went there to speak just on behalf of myself as somebody who really enjoys riding scooters, and kind of address the Planning Commission. And anyway, there was some other things on the agenda that involved building new buildings, and one of the things they were talking about is how they're wanting to put a higher density residential where the very first American Legion post is, because their 99-year lease is finally expiring, or actually probably expired 2 years ago. Anyway, it was mentioned that they were limited to, I think, 4 or 5 stories unless they petitioned for a variance, and they made it sound like, oh, you can petition, but it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, this building has obviously achieved getting that variance, and I should really know what the heck it's called, because I live so close to it. It's just an office building, nothing really special, but it is unique in that it's it's not a high-rise by most people's standards of what a high-rise is, but it's very tall for this part of town. It's the tallest building in any direction, probably, I would say probably 4 to 5 miles in any direction. So, and one morning while taking Lily to school, it was quite the event. As I was heading out to take her to school, and as we were getting ready, we could hear helicopters. And as we came out, we saw helicopters circling around it, which is kind of odd. And I usually listen to, if I'm in my car in the morning, I listen to KTAR radio, which at that time of morning is all local news, very well done local news. And there was, what all the commotion was a rescue attempt where the window washers were on the exterior of the building, and they've got a platform that they raise and lower via cables. I would imagine most of y'all have seen the crews that wash the windows on the exterior of tall buildings, and yeah, so they're suspended by cables and washing the windows, and apparently one of the cables had given way and the platform was hanging, and they were trying to rescue the window washers, and I believe they did. I don't think there was any real casualty, but it was quite the newsworthy event, and it sure made for a lot of helicopter noise driving through this neighborhood. And I didn't even go up 44th, actually. I think I went down Oak Street. Usually the traffic going to Lily's school is faster going down Oak, but that's I made a point to drive back that direction just so I could get a closer look at it, but I think by that time they'd gotten them rescued. Anyway, crazy. I remember such a random story from maybe 3 years ago, but I can't for the life of me think of the name of the building. Anyway, I gotta go do my banking. Thanks for coming along with the walk with me, and maybe I'll do another one on the way home.